देवं रविदीपदर्शन विभौ किं ज्योतिराख्याति चक्षुस्तस्य निमीलनादिसमये किं दीर्घयो दर्शने किं तत्राहमतो
and unwritten and the intangibles, that is what cannot be felt, like you can't touch and feel a particular thing, so those things become the intangibles. So a lot of intangible and natural heritage are around us. So whether they have been documented, whether they have been studied, and whether they have been enlisted for protection and preservation is something which we really need to think about. So we have been very closely working with Professor Rangaraju, who so happens to be the convener also of this newly established unit. So we have had the district level committee on heritage. So both under the MODA and as well as by the Heritage and Archaeology Department. So we have been taking special interest over the last 1 year. We have had multiple rounds and tried our level best to look at major pieces of architecture and heritage in the city. That being one. And from the last meeting onwards, what we have been thinking of is we should be looking at other intangibles and natural heritage.
The media who have already left because we have a press conference at 12 o'clock in our corporation, which I have to go and attend. And the culture enthusiasts of Mysuru. A very warm good morning to all of you. And I must say that even though the crowd is compact today, I am sure that the cultural weightage of each one of you is very much there. The cultural consciousness of Mysuru must be, gathered up here today. And that was a very, very, very generous introduction. In fact, I think my speech will be shorter than the introduction. And I was surprised today that Abhiram sir, our Honorable DC sir, spoke so much. In fact, he is a man of few words. So for the first time I saw that he spoke for so long and so enthusiastically and with so much content and knowledge. Very amazing. I'm very privileged that we have such a knowledgeable DC, and especially who's so much concerned about the conservation of heritage. So like I already said, I'll just speak 4 sentences. Most of it has been covered. I just want to start with a quote. Art is an effort to create not just a real world, but a more humane world. So Mysuru has been the cultural capital of not just Karnataka, but of the country. And also, we have been given different names recently. So Yoga Capital, and very recently the Clean City tag that we have. But traditionally, we've always had the tag of Samskrutika Nagari, City of Palaces, Heritage City. That is our pride and heritage. So it is a very meaningful and apt thing that His Highness, the scion of Odia dynasty, is inaugurating the Mysuru chapter of INTACH. Because we all know the contributions of the family, the Odia family, in patronizing and encouraging art and culture and heritage. And it is a very bright day for Mysuru. In fact, I was a little surprised that INTACH is starting a new chapter, installing a new chapter this late. Because I always thought that, Mysuru being a heritage city, this must always be there. So better late than never. I'm sure that the efforts of all our important people in this regard, including Mr. Rangaraju, Professor Rangaraju, who is a prominent person in this field in the city, with all their efforts, they have brought INTACH to Mysuru. And we are in the administration today, in the corporation today, we are facing a lot of challenges and a lot of important decisions have to be taken with respect to so many heritage structures, the restoration of many heritage structures. So in this regard, I must say that coming of INTACH chapter to Mysuru has been a shot in the arm for all of us. And also I was talking to Dr. Rangaraju.
Good afternoon to everyone present here. Dignitaries on the dais, Major General L.P. Linda, Dr. Esrich, Professor Rangaraju, friends of the stage, dignitaries of the stage, and of course, the other media, but nonetheless, friends from the media. It gives me great pleasure today, on behalf of the Palace, to inaugurate the INTACH chapter of Mysore. And as our MCC Commissioner already has mentioned, it came to a surprise to me as well a couple of months ago to understand that Mysore didn't have a INTACH chapter, being such a, of course, having the heritage tag and so many other cultural city tags that Mysore has. It It was a little surprising that we didn't have an intact chapter in Mysore. So in her own words, better late than never. And I'm sure it's a welcome move by all in Mysore who are so proud of our heritage here, our history and our culture in Mysore. And having another body that is so well connected within the country and has, of course, a network that is globally recognized to empower us further in this journey to conserve our heritage in the years to come. So my sincere congratulations and greetings to all of you on this occasion on behalf of the palace. I've just this morning, if anybody had read the paper, we were very disappointed to see again another news story. The famous Nandraj Bahadur Chaudhary, and the news story said we will build a parking lot in front of it. And it is again it's quite disappointing to see the continued. If there was as much effort at building, conserving our heritage as building parking lots, we would have a really clean look to all our heritage buildings in the city. The problem is there is a misunderstanding of what it's become a tag that you can depend on for some monetary help within the city's confines and within our society. But in truth, heritage is the central binding principle in all society. If you look at it, we identify our groupisms, our communities, our social structure, the way we align ourselves, the way we would identify ourselves with others is all a matter of heritage. We all identify ourselves today, perhaps most of us as Kannadigas here, because we all speak Kannada. So that is our heritage. It's a matter of identity. What is happening in Mysore slowly is our identity will be parking lots. So, because across the board there is only a push to build parking lots and unnecessary development. We are not against development. By all means, development is the sort of the key factor which propels humanity forward. Our productivity, etc., is all dependent on development. But the development should take into concurrence heritage and aspects of identity before moving forward. If these aspects are taken into development, it will become very easy to preserve our identity here in Mysore. We already know been really involved in the Devraja market and Lansdowne building, trying to conserve them, and we've seen the apathy and the neglect that the buildings have had to face because they haven't been able to get the necessary requirement or permission to conserve the buildings. Now the true custodians to both of the buildings have no say in it, but rather the body which is elected to conserve these buildings and conserve our identity is in another opinion itself. So there is a matter of clash of opinions where the true custodians and their opinion is not being taken into account. Rather, the opinions of others who are not really connected to what is the necessity of the buildings itself or of any other tangible heritage are taking decisions on this matter. So that connect needs to be built truly in the years to come so as to manage this heritage. Even with the palace itself, we are also as much in the loop in this, and PC was kind enough to say, and a very relevant need of the time is to classify the Dasra heritage as intangible heritage. But going forward, it will obviously need the concurrence of us here at the palace, because as per the constitutional thing, the government cannot interfere in a secular. Being secular, they cannot identify in a religious festival. And the Dasara at its core, above all else, is a religious festival. And the rites and what gives the Dasara essentially its identity comes from the vidhis or the rituals that are conducted in the palace. And then everything else going forward. So it's truly a matter of all of us, building the connect between the true custodians of what is the heritage, be it buildings, be it the intangible heritage, be it the languages, and the people making decisions. That is what is where the lacking of there is a lacking in general in all of society, and that is what I think INTACH will be the biggest responsibility going forward. Will be building this connect and understanding that government and the true custodians to whatever that heritage is need to build it together to find a means to take, of course, modern issues. We are walking that line as well, but also conserving these ancient traditions, ideals, and ancient heritage that we have. And so both of these, if we can walk that middle line, conserving our heritage and at the same time adding modern aspects to it, we can surely be successful in preserving Mysore's identity as a heritage city, as a city of culture, as a city of palaces, and add to its vibrancy and ethos going forward. Of course, again, many congratulations to INTACH, and the palace at Mysore is very keen in working in any capacity with you all going forward in whatever matter we may be of any help to you all, and of course preserving the Mysore identity and the Mysore environment and making sure it remains the heritage city and not the parking lot city. Thank you very much.